Hello there, welcome to Cartooning with Paul. Today, I'm going to show you how to draw Ed from The Lion King. So come on, let's get started. Alright guys, welcome back. The last several uploads I've been doing have been Lion King centric for the film out right now. But I'm getting a lot of requests. When are you going to do Ed? We want to draw hyenas. So let's just dive right into it. So what we're going to want to do, we're going to start with our favorite shape. We're going to start with the circle. Okay, nice and light and loose because we're not using all of the circle. Okay, now what we want to do is figure out what pose to give him, right? So I've got this great image. It's a still from the film where he is kind of looking out this way. Actually, he's looking out this way and that way and facing this way because Ed's fun. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw our vertical axis, a nice angle just like this. And then what we want to do is draw the horizontal axis just like so. Okay? All right, now with the hyenas, they've got a very wide bridge to their nose. So their eyes are kind of separated, but Ed's are especially separated. So I'm going to draw in a line here and a line here. I'm going to mirror image this line here, just like so. And then I will turn that into a triangle resting on that horizontal line. This line, I'll do this like that and like that. Okay. All right, so with the hyenas, we're going to, let's give him a cheek like this. And his other cheek will be just like this. It just comes out a little bit. So his head is shaped like this. Okay. So now you got your rough idea of his cranium, right? The skull shape of his head. Ah, man, broke my leg. It's not funny, Ed. I'm going to give him his eye shapes. Now here, I'm just going to turn the page so it'll make more sense. So his eyes are a little wild and crazy, right? So they don't fall into the normal construction shapes that normal characters have. Every Disney movie has their muted character, the one that doesn't have any speaking lines. So they have to act with only their gestures. It's called pantomime, right? So this character is the Lion King's mute character. So he has to be extra expressive to convey exactly what he's up to. So those eyes are a little kooky, all right? Then what we're going to want to do is we're going to draw the eye socket shapes. So again with his, they don't exactly make a whole lot of sense if you're looking to make everything practical. So his eye shapes follow like so. So we got that side, and then we've got this one, which you don't have to mess around with too much because it's over on the side. You don't see the whole thing. But we're going to angle that up there for his eyebrow. Now Ed's smile is going to be very crooked because we've got to deal with the shape of his snout, the sides of his cranium, and then we'll pull back the mouth. So before we do that, let's get the snout in place. Okay, so let's see. So what we're going to want to do is figure out exactly where that snout starts. We got this up here, and now let's bring out a little bit like that, and we'll come in Now this part is going to be straight across. Then we're going to pull up a little bit. Okay, so roughly his snout is going to be shaped like this. And if you were to sculpt him out of clay, this part would be flat and it'll come up like that. But we're doing cartooning here, so let's take this opportunity to throw in his nose. The nose points downward because a hyena is in the canine family, right? He's the African equivalent of a wild dog. Roughly. I never studied zoology. So we've got this V shape here like this. And now we're going to bring up this rounded shape like this. Okay. And now we'll draw in one shape like this for one nostril. Bring it in. And then on the other side, it's very, very slight because it's on the other side of his nose. Okay, so that's how you draw in Ed's nose. And I apologize, I'm going too fast here. I usually draw him a whole lot faster too, so. Okay, all right, so we have his muzzle here for his snout. Okay, now we're going to want to follow a rounded shape like this for his head shape, right? But they angle it. So this is going to come down very slightly, and then it's going to come up like this, and we're going to come down a little bit like that. And then on the other side, let's see, like this, and then we'll come up like that. All right. Now, we're going to want to, the image I'm looking at, he's gritting his teeth. So his mouth is closed, but his lips are open apart. So he's smiling. Okay. So right here, we're going to give him a rough idea of where the mouth opens. And we're going to almost mimic this shape. We're going to come in a little bit. And now we're going to mimic this shape, but we're going to make it bigger on the bottom. Okay, and now let's go in like that. Now let's go in like that. All right. And because this comes out, this side, we've got to come in a little bit. Like so. Okay. Now let's give him a lower lip. Like this. And like that. And we'll worry about this corner in a minute. Right now I want to get the teeth in. So we've got closed jaws. All right. Now we're going to come down with the upper teeth like this on either side of his muzzle. Now let's just draw in those fang shapes here, like that. And then all we're going to do is hint at the drawing of the rest of those teeth. We're just going to leave it just like that. All right, so now that we've got that in, let's draw in the bottom teeth, like so. And they meet right here in the center. And now we'll give him some separate teeth here. The animators varied the layout of his teeth. Okay. And draw in the back teeth here like this. And then a tooth like that. And now let's draw in that tongue that he loves to hang out. So the tongue, he's going to be biting it. the tongue will stand out about that far. So let's give him that crease there. All right, the tongue sticks out about that far. He's got some bumps on it. Remember, we go in threes in cartooning, so we get 3 there. And now with that in, we can throw in the rest of his teeth. And that lower lip of his. Alrighty. Okay, so now we got to draw in his cheek. Now Ed is the one where his cheek isn't really all that pronounced. Bonsai and Shenzi have some pronounced cheeks. Ed does not. They were all designed by the same guys, but they have very, very different head constructions. Let's give him some fur here, like that. Okay. So now what we have to do is throw in those big ears. So we've got one ear that starts right about here. Gotta come out like that. And like this. The outside of his ear, like that. And now the inside of his ear, or the bottom part of his ear, has a couple bites cut out of it. Like that. And he has some fur extending out into the inside of his ear. Let's shade in the top of his ear a little bit. All right, and now the other ear, we're going to make sure that they line up. This one we're going to put up like this. I'm going to draw the outside of his ear like this. I'll shade that in right now so that we get an idea of what we're doing here. And now we will draw in the shape of his ear. And again, we've got some bites cut out of his ear, just like so. He's seen some battle. Okay, we got some more fur on this side. And just for fun, let's throw in the shape of the top part of his spine here. Because they're hyenas, they drape their necks downward, right? So his mane will be up here like this. Just like so. And then we've got some spots on his back. Now remember, when you draw the spots, you want to remember that they are supposed to show the form of the body. So it should kind of warp a little bit to give the indication that there's volume here. And you want to shade it a little lighter than you are his ears or his mane so that you don't think that it's part of his head. All right, now the only things we're missing are his pupils. And to show that he's dim-witted, these pupils are very, very thin. They're very small. And he has a lazy eye. He's looking in different directions at the same time. And the last thing we need to put in are the few hairs coming out of the top of his head. Let me just darken in part of his head. And very, very thin eyebrows with him. And the reason for that is to differentiate him from Bonsai, who has very, very thick eyebrows. Okay. All right. And there you go, guys. There's Ed. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for drawing with me. Don't forget, I've got other Lion King videos right up there where you can draw with me. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you later. On an angle like this. Makes like four.
Oh, I get no respect. I mean, take my wife, please.
Cool, bro.
Oh, tough crowd.